Hello everyone. Welcome to another video of this weekly series Indian IPO Pulse. In this video, I'll share the details of all the upcoming mainboard IPOs scheduled to open for subscription for next week in the Indian share market. I will also share the performance of IPOs listed last week along with the top gainers and losers of the 2025. The idea is just to share the facts and do not influence you in any way. Okay, so let's get started. Before moving on, please read the entire disclaimer carefully. This video is for educational purpose only. There is no buy, hold, or sell recommendation anywhere at all in this video. So we'll see the mainboard IPOs for next week, followed by the last week's IPOs listing. We'll then see the top 10 gainers IPOs of 2025, followed by the top 10 losers. We'll then see the dashboard, the IPO dashboard for all the mainboard IPOs of 2025. And finally, we'll see the list of IPOs for which the lock-in period is ending in next week. So let's look at the first thing, which is the mainboard IPOs for next week. So there are four IPOs which will be open for subscription in the next week. First is Rubicon, then Canara Robeco Mutual Fund, third will be the Canara HSBC Life Insurance, and fourth will be the Midwest. So out of these four, the first three, Rubicon, Canara Robeco Mutual Fund, and Canara HSBC Life Insurance, the subscription is already ongoing in all of these three IPOs. For Midwest, the subscription will open in the next week. Let's go in detail of each one of them quickly. So the first one is the Rubicon. Now Rubicon, the IPO subscription started on Thursday 9th of October and it will close on Monday 13th of October. Tentative listing date is 16th of October. If you want to apply on the highest price band, which is 485 per share. This is fresh come OFS. Fresh issue is 36.3%, whereas the OFS is 63.7%. About the quota, QIB quota is 74.89%, NII quota is 14.98%, retail quota is 9.99%, and there is an employee quota as well of 0.14%. The employee will get a discount of 46 rupees per share. Let's move on to the next IPO. This is the Canara Robeca Mutual Fund. The IPO will open for subscription, has already been open for subscription on Thursday, 9th of October, and the subscription will close on Monday, 13th of October. The tentative listing date is Thursday, 16th of October. If you want to apply on the highest price band, 266. This is 100% offer for sale. There is no fresh issue. About the quota, QIB quota is 53.26%, NII quota is 14.02%, and the retail quota is 32.72%. There is no employee quota as well in this one. Let's move on to the next one, which is the Canara HSBC Life Insurance. Now, for this IPO, the subscription has already been started in the last week. It was started on Friday, 10th of October, that is yesterday, and the subscription will close on Tuesday, 14th of October. Tentative listing date is Friday, 17th of October. The IPO is 100% offer for sale, and there is an employee discount of 10 rupees per share. Let's see the quota. QIB quota is 49.67, NII quota is 14.9, retail quota is 34.77, and there's an employee quota of 0.65% as well. Let's move on to the final IPO of next week. It is the Midwest one. Now, for this, the subscription will open on on Wednesday, 15th of October, and it will close on Friday, 17th of October. The tentative listing date is Friday, 24th of October for this one. If you want to apply, it's suggested to apply on the highest price band, which is 1065 rupees per share in this one. This IPO is fresh issue plus OFS. Fresh issue is 55.43 and OFS portion is 44.57. There is an employee discount as well of 101 rupees per share. Let's check out the quota. QIB quota is 50%, retail quota is 35%, and NII quota is 15% in this one. Okay, now let's have a look at the last week's IPOs and how they were listed. So this graph shows the number of IPOs that were listed last week, and as we can see, there were six IPOs which were listed. First was Pace Digitech. Pace Digitech. So the listing was in gain of 2.74, but by the day end it went into the negative. But it has recovered, and by Friday trading day close, it has up. It has actually it is in positive now with 2.51% as compared to its issue price. The IPO size was 800 odd crore rupees and the GMP was 5.48. Now, this is interesting, 5.48 GMP, and it was listed at 2.74%. So, below GMP listing. And then this is the quota, and sorry, this is the subscription. Anchor 100% subscribed, QIB 1.69, Big HNI 3.25, Small HNI 2.66, Retail 1.69, Employee 1.83, and total 1.68 times this IPO was subscribed. Next was Glotus. Now, this, as you can see, it was listed at minus 34.88%. It ended that day with minus 35.12, and it ended Friday with minus 36.59% of its issue price. So, people are trapped in this one. The issue size was 307 crores. There was no GMP. Basically, zero GMP was 0%. And a decent subscription was there, not huge, but a decent subscription was there. Let's move on to the FabTech Technologies. FabTech, uh, it was listed just 0.52%, uh, but by the day end it went into negative with minus 5.55%. But by the end of Friday trading day end, it again came back into positive with 2.67%. So the IPO was 230 crore odd in size, and there was the GMP was zero for this one, and there were no anchor investors, which is quite an interesting thing in it. And the total subscription was okayish with total twice two times it was subscribed. Next one was the Home Freight Forwarders. Now this was the worst IPO of the last week. It it basically listed at minus 39.63%. It ended that day with minus 33.45, and by Friday day end it has improved a bit but still in deep negative with minus 29.33%. Although it was a very small IPO, one would expect these kind of IPOs to have a very good subscription, but if you see, the subscription too was not very good. Although big HNI and small HNI were very good, the employee was not even. So this gives me a clear sign. If the employees itself they are not confident about the IPO, I I do not trust such IPOs. So the employee quota was not subscribed fully. Apart from that, all quotas were subscribed. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is the Advanced Agro Life. Now this was clearly the best IPO of last week. It was listed at 14%. It ended the day with 5% in green, and it ended Friday day end with 10.31% up from its issue price. It was again a very small IPO with only 192.86 crore in size. The GMP was 13%. It was listed at 14%, so quite close. But the subscription was bumper. QIB 27 times, big HNI 202 times, small HNI 121 times, retail 23 times, employee 38 times. Total subscription around 57 times. So huge subscriptions in the IPO. And the final IPO of last week was VWorks India IPO. Now the poorest subscription of all. It was listed at in positive with marginal 0.31%, but by the day end, it went into negative, and it is still in negative by the end of Friday trading day with minus 3.59%. So down 3.59% from the issue price. This was a 3,000 crore IPO. There was no GMP in it. And if you see subscription, only 1.79 times subscribed by QIB. Big HNI not fully subscribed, small HNI not fully subscribed, retail not fully subscribed, employees subscribed 1.87 times, total subscription only 1.15 times. So, Very bad subscription and poor performance in the first week. Let's move on and see the top 10 gainers of 2025. So this graph shows the top 10 gainers. The orange bar here shows the listing day gain or losses. So basically the price at the day end of the listing day. And this gray bar shows the current gain and losses. So if you see clearly, the best of all is Stallion India Fluorochemicals still. Last week also it was at the top. So for the year it is still at the top. It was listed at 40% on the day of listing, and it is 240% above its issue price at the moment. Next is the Quality Power, 135 percent above its issue price. Aditya Infotech, 105.96% above its issue price. Ether Energy, very good. Prostem Info, very good. Let's move on and see the losers. So this graph shows the top 10 losers. Again, same thing. Orange gives the listing day gains or losses at the day end of listing day, and this gray bar shows the current gain or loss. So BMW Ventures, the worst of all, with minus 37.65% returns. It closed the first day listing day on minus 29%, and it has basically dragged further with minus 37.65% at the moment. Next is Glotis, listed at minus 35.12 on the listing day, and it's still at minus 36.59. So very poor performance. Home Freight, minus 29.33. Iris Infra Solutions, minus 25.23. So basically, Lakshmi Dental, minus 25.49. So basically, this graph shows the worst 10 IPOs of 2025. Let's move on and see the IPO dashboard for the mainboard IPOs. So total 79 IPOs have been listed so far in this year. Last week, 6 IPOs were listed, and this graph basically shows how many IPOs are listed in each month. October till date, 11 IPOs have been listed in it. Let's move on and see move on to the final point in this video, which is the list of IPOs for which the lock-in is ending next week. So now this slide shows that last week there were two IPOs for which the lock-in ended. Cryzac, there was a correction of 6% on the day that lock-in ended, and for Travel Foods, the stock price actually went up 2% on the day the lock-in ended. That's good for Travel Foods. Now, for the next week, there are five companies for which the lock-in period is ending. SmartWorks, 12th of October. 12th October means Sunday. So on Monday, this will be effective. 14th of October, Anthem Biosciences. 15th, Dev Accelerator. 15th again, Srinagar House of Mangalsutra. And on 16th, Urban Company. So if you are interested in making positions in these IPOs, or you already hold the positions, so these dates would be quite important for you. You might need to keep an eye on the stock prices on these dates. So basically, the lock-in period is the period at which the anchor investors can actually they are allowed to, basically the lock-in period ends in, they are allowed to sell their shares on these dates. Okay, so that is all from my side in this video. I hope that this information is useful for you. Thanks for watching it. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, and let me know in comments if you want me to include any other facts about the mainboard IPOs. Goodbye and happy investing.